Some long for longevity before fading to dust. Some long for eternal sleep, their eulogy chanted by stars. Into that serenity, their lost time forever buried. She rambled 1,000 times and 1,000,000 miles searching for her light. Free from the rule of death now seems so dull. Time goes by but memories rewind, and there she prays again to when things began. Where to go, where they meet and grow old. And hello, Brony Gamer, how are you? And hello, Otaku, how you doing? His name is Kiria, right? I know that the spelling is not at all looking like that. You look ready to fight in the thumbnail. I am ready to fight. This is a generation quest. Although, the thumbnail, I use the same thumbnail for every Thursday. Low-key, I got lazy with the thumbnails because even AFK Journey's thumbnail is the one from last season, not this season. I might go back and sneakily change all the thumbnails later for when we're talking about the new generation. I still love your mini kitty eating ramen. Thank you. I like it too. One day it will change though, because I actually don't have the right to Pusheen, and I don't want to get in trouble with Pusheen. But I think the people who made Pusheen are actually pretty chill. I forgot who else. I forgot who exactly was, but I remember seeing like the creator of Pusheen on Twitter, and I was like, oh, you're pretty chill. What is this? Earn rewards by purchasing gift subs to me. What is this? Is this Audible? I don't even know what that is. I don't know if you got that. You leave forever for... You know, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about it at work. I was like, this is a week, right? Congratulations. I'm happy for you. And welcome in, Roar. And you're gonna hear me roar. And you got a Switch too. That's amazing. Congrats. I don't have one yet. One day, in a couple of years, I'll get one used. It's awesome to be here. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you think that. It brightens my day a little bit. Sounds scammy. Which one? What sounds scammy? The Switch 2? The Pusheen? It sounds more French to me. I don't know. Pusheen? Kiria? Who? What? I have waited all day to send that greedy wolf away. Foinse is right here. That's Foinse. You said something about... This blonde is Foinse. Better get one soon. Yeah, I know. I won't get it soon. I don't have money. But in a few years, I'll get it used. Like, I got my Switch 1 on a heavy discount, so that's why I bought it. It was the limited edition Switch 1 OLED with Smash for $300, which is great. The connection between Pomni and Jax are similar to the connection between Rumi and Gino. I see. It's crazy price. Yeah, it really is. I still have my Switch 1 though. It works fine. Alright, let's get started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started in here. You agree with Roar? Analysis. Foinse believes your words. Evidence suggests they are truthful. Conclusion. We can negotiate. Visitor's objective. Investigating Adelia and the cause of the divine beasts. Oh, you're saying Foinse sounds French. I see. I can see that. I think the reason why I think Foinse sounds like Italian is because it sounds a lot like vivace. You know? I went back. Never mind. LOL. Your name. Is that what you mean? And thank you so much for the head pat. I appreciate it. I had to redo my hair. Visitor objective. Investigate Adelia and the cause of divine beasts. Constructs objective. To resolve this matter. What? What matter? Oh, Audible! That's what you were thinking about, yeah. I don't really like Audible. Well, I mean, I like the concept of it, you know, like audiobooks, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know. When I see enough ads for something, like way too many, one ad, okay. 2 ads, okay. But like when there was a time when everybody was getting sponsored by Audible, and it gives me like suspicion. Rye bread, we have that already. So I'm glad you mentioned that. We finished a fresh batch right now. Here you are, Ox. With Mabi eggnog, that's gonna take a little bit longer. But yes, Mabi eggnogi. That's cute. We'll work on it. Are you reading my mind? Absolutely. That's what our gremlins at the bakery have the power to do. What matter? It is Kiria. Kenjanaya. You don't mean experiencing difficulty of expression, searching for appropriate words. Persuasive speech is not well understood. That which you call Gorias is a mechanical device past the end of the intended lifespan. Planned obsolescence, inevitable limits, increasing rates of error, all leads to reoccurring cycles of failure. It is nearing the end. I did not make this golem. This golem, Kiria, is from the city of Gorias. And Gorias is one of the city of the gods. So I think it's implied that one of the gods built Kiria. As well as Foinse. Because Foinse looks like a person, but she's not. You could bake a gingerbread golem though. Yeah, for sure. The recent incidence of transference has been a significant impact on the predicted lifespan. What if Rosalina had her own game, with her being the main role? That would be cool. They should, actually, because we already have, like, Pauline with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Well, does that count? Because it's a Donkey Kong game, right? But we already have... We don't have a Daisy game, do we? But we do have a Princess Peach game. Several, actually, like Super Princess Peach. And then Princess Peach has a main role in Paper Mario as well, which is one reason why I really liked it. Huh. And then Princess Peach is playable in Paper Mario as well. She's one of the characters that you just have to play. What if I had my own game? That would be fun. One day I would like to release a game. Oh, that's Mabi. Imagine if I made Mabi. I would love to be on any part of the team of Mabi. Like, I really wanted to be a soul streamer, but they cut the program. But I would still like a chance to be a voice actor on there as Blanid or Vivi. I think that would be really cute. You technically are a character, I guess. Yeah, technically. There I am. There I am. Several regions sustained significant damage, and the remaining energy source is creating unstable waveforms. Yes. Vibe scepter. What? In the absence of the winds of the masters, all systems are approaching collapse. Why? I would be so angry if I was created with an end date in mind. Like, why aren't they more angry? So change must come from another source. This is what I ask of you. No! Don't say that. No, I cannot take it. Do not do that. Foinse, what are you gonna say? Please kill me. Excuse me? What are you talking about? Yeah, he lost me right there. It's like he was just talking about, like, everything. Are we making pasta today? I wish, but no, we don't have pasta today. But I do have this giant family bag of M&Ms. Wait, where are my M&Ms? Oh my gosh, where are they? I thought they were here in my bag, but I don't have them. Wait, hold on. What? Wait. No. Where are my M&Ms? Where did they go? Okay, I see them. They're over there. I got scared for a second. But I do have my bag of M&Ms. Aw, thank you, Trudge. Are they yellow M&Ms or every M&M? What are you talking about? Declan stares at Kiria, flummoxed. You see what? What? See what he has to say. Define flummoxed. Flummoxed. Bewildered or perplexed. I could assume that from context clues, but I really just wanted to hear how it was pronounced. Is it like a collection of every M&M ever released? 100%. Sell it on eBay for that much currency. Will do. Declan stares at... Okay. Flummoxed. See what he has to say. I wonder why Nintendo won't put their soundtrack from their games on Spotify. I think Nintendo is overall just protective of their properties, so they don't want it posted on YouTube or Spotify. And now that I think about it, for good reason, especially with like Spotify and how they've embraced AI music and AI training and vibe like playlists and stuff, I can understand why Nintendo would hate it. And Nintendo has taken a stance against generative AI, so I can see why they wouldn't want it to be on Spotify. They also have been for years actively taking down their like music on YouTube as well for anybody who re-uploads it. And then the reason ultimately is so that they can funnel people into their like Nintendo Music app. Let me see. I forgot what it's called. That Espeon is crazy, but I love it. Because they have their own little Nintendo Music app that they want you to listen from. Should be called Nintendo. That would be crazy. I would love that. Dilly dilly whoop. But they've always been protective of their property, so I'm not really surprised. I'm looking for it. Yeah, it's called Nintendo Music. It's just... They should have called it Nintendo. I'm gonna petition them to call it Nintendo. Just kidding. That's a good name, though. But yeah, they have their own for Nintendo Music. Like, I can understand the frustration on our side. Why wouldn't they just put it on YouTube or Spotify? But at the same time, they've always been protective, so... Nintendo re mi fa sol la ti do. You know, I never really understood people who knew that. I've never been able to do anything by ear, so for me, do re mi fa sol la ti do, it could be the same pitch all the time. I don't know why that could possibly help anybody say all of the tones. Might as well just go ah instead of do re mi fa sol la ti do. You know, I never really understood it. But you know what? That's what they teach, I guess. I've never been in chorus, so I don't know if they actually teach that or if it's just like a movie thing. Hey, what are you saying? Do constructs have another meaning for that word? Please tell me you're about to say you just want to be powered down and back up. They teach it here. Where are you from, Ox? Or are you some sort of machine race that rebuilds to be stronger after every death? Do you know how many people would give anything to live on but don't get to? Dying isn't something to be taken lightly. Eastern Europe. I see. 아닙니다. That's not what he said though. 아닙니다 means no, not clarification. So I don't know why they straight up lied about that. 아닙니다 is no. The analogy was intended to aid in comprehension, but it seems the term is not well understood. A literal approach may be preferred. The visitors are requested to deactivate me permanently. No! I am malfunctioning. Honestly, what we need to do is just give you a touch-up. I don't know why Foinse, after all these years, didn't even bother to remove all of the trees and stuff growing in him. Core function, the protection of the city. Current impulse, destruction of the city. Desire is contrary to duty. A critical error has occurred. Ooh! He said he wants to destroy the city. That's crazy. Okay, so basically he's like, have you guys seen, was it called Z Nation? But it's like, have mercy. Because they were like, they wanted to be killed before turning into a zombie. So they were like, oh, it's mercy if you just shoot me. That would require me to have brain cells. The best I can do is notice if I've heard a voice more than once. Fair. Analysis. Further deviations are inevitable. My will and control are compromised. The request is to be deactivated peacefully before I cause damage. That's so sad. No. You see? The no here was 아니야. 아니요. 아닙니다 is just a more formal version to say no. See? I know like 4 words in Korean. I do know. I actually know quite a bit, I think. Like, 네 is yes. 죄송합니다 is sorry. 사랑합니다 is I love you. 아닙니다 is no. 안녕하세요 is hello. See, I know a couple. I know like 5 words. Great. You can say sorry, I love you. I guess so. I don't know if it would work out, but I know sorry and I love you separately. I don't know if it's a complete sentence though. No, we couldn't possibly. We didn't come here to do something like that. We don't want to shut down or deactivate anyone. I can't accept that kind of sacrifice. I mean, honestly, it's not really up to us, right? Like, at the end of the day, Kiriya wants to be shut down, and I can understand the reasoning, right? So, Kiriya wants to be shut down so they do not hurt the city that they love, right? So we should just shut them down, right? And if something changes along the way, in which we can reboot them, I'm pretty sure Foinse would know how. So then we can reboot them when things are clear, right? For a moment, I thought those light bulbs were in-game. Oh, no, they're part of the overlay. Just decoration, because I feel like I would be #tricked. Imagine. I just feel like it would be boring if I just have the overlay by itself and then no, like, anything. So I added the vines and the bear. And honestly, this bear helps. So if somebody sends me a DM on Mabi, the bear covers it so you can't see it. 아닙니다. We've been fighting so hard to keep hope alive. I never want all your efforts to cause anyone to give up on life. I feel the same way. Look on in silence. We need to hear more about this. I honestly have to say this. Like, I want to say, oh no, we can't sacrifice anybody. But we don't know if shutting down Kiriya would be like the end. You know what I mean? Like, we could probably restart them. And then even if we couldn't, it is not our decision to make. They have a good reason. They don't want to harm others, right? So why would I force them to continue existing in a way that would put their friends at risk? So I'm going to say we need to hear more about it. I got defiant. Ooh, that's not good, right? That message is 70 years old in streaming time. LOL, what do you mean? You're afraid a day might come when you're no longer able to protect the city, but your answer to that fear is to abandon it entirely. Why do you have to sound like that? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Can someone in chat let me know? Because I actually understand what Kiriya is saying. What do you mean? Like, why is everybody being mean to Kiriya? I hope we get another Nintendo Direct soon. I think it would be very good, right? 그래. There's no need to jump to drastic measures. It's not too late to find help. Real help. I agree. I 100% agree. But he literally just said that he has destructive impulses to destroy the city. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, he said he has destructive impulses to destroy the city. So shouldn't we shut him down? Deactivate, and then we can restart him later. Why are we acting like deactivation is forever? We're the help! Expectation. I believe the request was simple. An error in judgment was made. Dang, Kiriya. Analysis was performed with the masters who once ruled this city as a model, but clearly the current visitors differ greatly. Please consider an alternative proposal. Because the game is trying to teach you to never turn off your toasters. LOL. I didn't know you're also on Kick. I am. I'm basically on everywhere. So right now I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Odyssey. Those are the 4 main platforms. I would have been streaming on TikTok if they didn't get rid of me. But it's fine. It's okay. And I would have been streaming on Twitter if I had Twitter Blue, but I don't have Twitter Blue anymore. Analysis was performed with the... okay. Please find a power source to light the city one last time. One last time. One last time. I also request that you help Foinse and the remaining constructs settle peacefully in your world. You are not everywhere. Where's the MySpace stream? I would love to. If they opened up MySpace and allowed me to be there, I would. MySpace is owned by who? I'm trying to think. Kiriya. No, but if they're like Foinse, so if they're like Foinse, she'll have literally no problem living in our world. She literally looks human. Owned by the internet void. LOL, that's sad. Hearing Kiriya's explanation, Sephra exhales a frustrated... What the? Oh, I accidentally summoned my creature. You should talk with him and see how he's feeling. Nonsense. Find a power source for the city of the gods? How are we supposed to do that? Sephra, you were the one who was like attacking Kiriya. Kiriya had a much simpler request to be shut down. And yet you were the one who got mad at him for it. Gorias and Aaron are completely different worlds. Literally. Do you get that? Counterpoint. With Adelia's permission, I once investigated her possessions. Her weapons, though crude, held a structure similar to machinery that powers Gorias, on a small scale, of course. She did not understand how it functioned, though. Kiriya slowly turns to look at Aine. The weapon was from Aaron. Ragara? Or what's it called? Bryonic. Can we use Bryonic? The weapon was from Aaron. Therefore, Aaron must hold similar technology. What weapon did Adelia use? Dual guns. That's what she called them, I think. So then, are we talking about the Huilin stuff? She showed me them once. She held them in both hands and a tiny little explosion came out of them when she used them. And I already have, what's this called? Arsenal Gunner. So I have the most access to guns. Well, if you're talking about dual guns, that's probably he'll win engineering. Sephra cuts Declan off with a glare. Why? Shh, you can't just spill that. Why not? We should just put all the cards on the table. Tiny little explosion. That's called a pop. Pop, 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 pop. We still have no idea if we can trust the city or anyone in it. I don't know why Sephira's being like this. Like, I literally don't get why Sephira's being like this. Is it because he's, like, kind of not in it right now? Because last season, or, like, last stream, we saw that he was... One, he was able to see the villain, made eye contact with them. Which is crazy, because even me as the, like... As the actual player... I can't even see their face. It's blocked out, but whatever. Sephira made eye contact with them. Wasn't last stream Yu-Gi-Oh? But the last Thursday stream. But no, the last stream was a Mabi stream, which was yesterday. So we streamed yesterday. We did Mabi Commerce. But I mean, like, last Thursday when we did this quest. So Sephira saw the villain, and then they've already been kind of on edge. I guess I can see why he is, like, bothered by everything that's happening recently, and then also why he doesn't trust people. I get it. I just think it's a little bit unfair. It's like if somebody walked up to you and he's like, kill me, and then you're like, no way, I can't do that, you're a coward for even trying to die. And then they're like, okay, then can you help me? And he's like, wait, I don't know if I can trust you. I mean, you were the one who rejected the first offer, right? No, I mean, I guess. Before we make our reply, we should make sure we are all agreed. That's true. We're pretty far from home right now, and with the fate of the world resting on what we do, if we want this to work out in our favor, we need to be making good decisions. So, just to start, let's each say how we're thinking. So how do you feel about Kiria's proposal? Hear everyone out. Aren't we overcomplicating things? Let's take the most direct route. Let's just deal with these guys once and for all. It'll be easier to close the gate without them in the picture. Zephyr, what are you talking about? Like, Zephyr, you're so like a ping pong ball. Before you were like, oh, so you're a coward for trying to run away. And now you're like, let's get rid of them. He literally said to do that. Not so loud, my friend. LOL, Ox. A sensible person would ask why first. Why what? Because Kiria made his opinion, like, he made his thought process clear. So Kiria said, shut me down because I'm having destructive impulses to destroy the city. Which goes against my primary objective, which was to protect the city. So because those two things are out of balance, shut me down so I cannot destroy the city. That's what he was saying. So to me, that's a very rational, like, fear. And we can shut him down, deactivate him, without killing him once and for all. He's not a person, he's a construct. I think that's too extreme, Sephira. Quick, someone kill me, but why? He already explained! He already explained, Dime. Okay, that's it. My construct lawyer will contact your lawyer. LOL. I don't feel great about suggesting this, but can't we just play along until we know what we need to know? I don't like that. Foinse is just staring at us. I think we should deal with them honestly. I think we should take the deal. Don't you think that's the best way to go about it? Good intentions, good results. I agree with Aine here. If we're not gonna listen to what Kiria says, if we're not going to, and we're gonna try to find a different way to keep him up and running 100% of the time, then we should, honestly, he offered to let us kill him, right? So then we said no, so we have to find a better solution. And then what better way to go about that than to be honest and then find the thing that, like, we have the thing that can help them. Dualgan, Hilwayan engineering. So, like, why not use it? Delga, what do you think? Everyone turns to look at Delga, who has a thoughtful look in her eyes. Hear what she has to say. I agree, though. I just don't see why it can't just be restarted later unless the game lore says so. Right, I agree. Let's shut him down now and then reset him when we are able to fix it. You know what I mean? Then you're the only one who controls this gate. Also, in case it goes feral, you don't have a choice anyway at that point. You would be forced to kill... Right, exactly. Because he wants to destroy the city. Well, he has an impulse to destroy the city, even though he wants to protect it. So wouldn't it be better to shut him down temporarily until we can start him again when we figured out what the problem is? Then are you the only one who controls this gate? Delga, who has been thinking things over, turns to Kiria and speaks up. That is correct. The barrier enclosing the entirety of Gorias has been disabled, but the barriers to each sector are still operational. And this actually works in our favor, right? Because we just wanted to shut down. So the whole reason we're here is to close the gate to Gorias, right? So why don't we just take all the constructs, take them to Earth, close the gate? Wasn't it in sleep mode when we first met? I don't think so. I think it was already up and running because remember they were up there. Oh, they don't let me control the angle anymore. But they were up here, right? And then Kiria and Foinse were talking. So Kiria was already up and running. Each sector. So there's more to the city. So what they're asking us to do, close the gate to the city, fits directly in line with what we wanted to do. So let's just have, well, no, because then that would mean that Kiria stays in Gorias forever until he shuts down, which is interesting. We have to shut the gate anyway. So, it's interesting. I definitely understand the story and fully caught up. Nice, Zaki. Are you joking? Or are you saying that, like, are you saying that sarcastically, or like you really get it? Each sector. So there's more to the city. Gorias consists of 3 sectors. We stand in the residential sector. Here, our masters once had their residence. A long search awaits us. Yes. It seems like we barely scratched the surface. What do you think? You heard from everyone now, including Delga. Take a moment to gather your thoughts. In order to have any hope of learning about Gorias, you're going to need to see what's past those closed gates. Just search the area you're in now. We'll never tell you everything. And the only one who can let you through the gate is that construct. If you don't agree to his terms, you might never see him again. So there's really no choice. You must cooperate, earn his trust, search the rest of Gorias. I'm gonna say earn his trust. I think that's important. I don't think this has any like difference in the points. I'm just gonna say earn trust. Oh good. We're on the same page then. I mean, I knew we would be. It is helpful to be looking in the same direction. Right. This is why I don't understand why the mercenaries are being so like uptight. Our search lines up with their request. So why are we being difficult? But it sounds serious. Yeah. So I'll explain briefly what's happened. So G28, I guess we need to start from Winds of Fate. So Winds of Fate. The story starts off with us, the Malaysian, the player character. We're facing these weird little beasts that have appeared. So they're ambushing places. So while traveling from one place to another, we meet Sephra, Aine, and Declan. And they are attacked by divine beasts. We fight these divine beasts together. And then, I don't know why I'm explaining everything so deeply. But, through that, we learn more about them and how they're looking for someone. They're looking for Delga. So, right now, our mission to fight the divine beasts lines up with them trying to find Delga. Cliff notes it, right. So, basically, we start working and traveling together. We find out that these divine beasts are caused by something called Findas Fate, which is similar to Ragnarok. like the end of the world. So Delga is against us because she believes that we're causing Finda's fate, but we are not. So that was like the entirety of this generation. She's fighting us because she wants us out of here. She believes us rushes the world to its end. Then in G27, again, we have all of these divine beasts. So we find out to stop Finda's fate, we have to close all the city of the gods. So there's like Gorias. There's what is this city? I forgot. What is the name of it? Oh my gosh. Murias. So the first city of the gods that we face is Murias. Well, actually, technically it's Philias that we've seen in Alchemist, but it doesn't matter. But the first one we see in Winds of Fate is Murias. So basically a lot of stuff happens. I don't need to summarize it. What happens is we end up closing the gate to Murias. But the problem is not solved. So in G28, we see that there is another wave of divine beasts. And this time they're getting smarter and more coordinated. So we have to find this city. Then suddenly, this gate falls into the city of Dunbarton. And so now we're like, okay, what do we do? So we walk through the gate and now we are in Gorias, the new city of the gods. And we're learning more about what's going on over here. But the residents of Gorias are Foinse and Kiria. Does that catch everybody up to speed? So Foinse and Kiria are constructs, and they know who Aine. They know Aine's mom. I believe that is pretty much everything, and then we're all together. How many cities are there? It's unclear, but they implied 3. So at least Murias, Gorias, and then Philias. But I think there's another one, so there might be 4. But here we are. So currently, we're trying to close. Our ultimate goal is to close the gate from this, close this gate from Aaron, so that Aaron can be safe from Finda's fate. But now we're helping Kiria and Foinse basically save Kiria, who is having destructive thoughts. And then also everybody is shutting down except for like Foinse. So we're trying to save them. It is helpful to be looking in the same direction. Right. Yeah. Nice to have a peaceful solution. No one's got to get hurt over this one. Ugh. You're never gonna listen to me, are you? I mean, Sephra, take a breather. Take a breather. Why would we just kill them? You know what? Like, Sephra, you're being unreasonable. Sephra's sudden boiling over with frustration. See what he has to say. Oh, the angle. I don't get how closing the gates to the city ends what's happening here. Because someone, arguably, I don't know exactly, but someone is causing all of the divine beasts to attack. So they must dwell in one of these cities, right? One of the gods. I think we have to clear this. If you close the gates, do the divine beasts stay? Well, we can kill them once they're gone. So the closing the gate is to stop them from flooding the city. Because as it stands, they appear out of nowhere, anywhere, and then they act coordinated. We don't need something from the cities, we just need to close the gate. Like, what do we get in Murias? We're not getting anything. The only thing we got in Murias was trauma. The villain? Yeah, but we don't really know who the villain is right at this point. Unless you're trying to say we got Lenin, who was the antagonist of G27. Free trauma? Sign me up. Okay. Go ahead and play this generation. G27 in Mabi. I have so many questions. Feel free to ask them. I might actually know. Because I feel like I'm one of the only people who read the story. Prying at the soul. Talk to Sephra and Gorias. Okay, Sephra. Let's see what's going on. You're already living. That's enough trauma for anyone. LOL, that's crazy. I feel like there has to be a line somewhere. Some kind of limit to how nice we have to be. What do you mean? It is not... What? It is bare minimum not to kill someone. You know what I mean? Like, that's bare minimum. So first, we're forgiving someone who screwed us over like it's nothing. And then we're dropping everything, including the literal fate of our world, to help someone who makes a sad face at us? That's crazy. Like, Sephra, why do you have to say it like that? But I mean, like, yeah, I get why he's upset, but if he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? Like, send him home. Give him a break. You see this time, are you looking? That sign. Are we even still mercenaries? Maybe we should rename ourselves. The Windfall Goody Two Shoes has a nice ring to it. Sephra, calm down. The height difference is wild. It really is. To be fair, I'm shorter than like literally every NPC. But I kind of like it like that. I don't know. I just feel like I look cuter, smaller. You know what I mean? So the cause of all this is in one or the cities, all of them. So we're closing the gate to other cities. So the city of the gods, Gorias, Murias, Philias, we have already sealed Philias in the past, a long time ago. It had nothing to do with the divine beasts. Then we closed in on Murias. And then we closed the gate to Murias. And then, now we're trying to close the gate to Gorias. Are we containing them in one or just closing the gates to just protect the cities? All the cities are pretty much abandoned. Like if you saw in Murias, the only residents of Murias... So first, Philias, the first city of the gods that we saw, there was nobody inside except for Ebha, I think. And Ebha wasn't even Ebha. He was like some other like divine being who just watched over the gate there. And then we closed that gate, sealing Nadab, because that was a whole other thing. So Nudha, I forgot what his name. I think it's Nudha, actually. I think Nudha, he tried to like take over and fight Morgan. There was a lot of stuff going on. So basically, the villain from that arc in Alchemist, we shut him inside the city of Philias. So he's there by himself, alone now. And then we closed that gate. The next city of the gods that we faced was in Winds of Fate. That was Murias. So the only people who are living here were dolls created by Medir, the goddess of comfort. But the goddess of comfort had like, she put a piece of her soul in each of the individuals there. So they ended up being destroyed. I'm gonna just be like completely honest with it and what happened. Basically, they were destroyed. I believe it was Lenin who kind of like took everybody's pieces out. And then... So then nobody was living there anymore. Then we dragged Lenin out of the city, closed the gate, and erased Lenin's memories. And then now we're in Gorias. And hello, Mabi Nerd. Welcome in, welcome in. Rebecca in lowercase. Confirmed, LOL. I missed it, but we went back before to see it. Did it look different from last time? I don't know. It flashes by so quick sometimes. I could be wrong, but I think there's more red. I could be wrong. I didn't really see it. It really reminds me of Twisted Wonderland's Overblot. One of the cities, so we want to keep them in the cities. It's either we keep them or take them out. It doesn't really matter. The thing is, The gate to the city must be closed. I see. So the cities are bad or like outdated and dangerous. It could be. Like, them just being there is a problem. Yeah, I would say like dangerous. Yeah. But it's complicated because Lenin's whole thing was that he wanted to protect Murias. But Murias couldn't be there. Like, that was just like, at the end of the day, it couldn't be. So we had to close it. So I think it fits what you said. Like, it's more like outdated and dangerous. Because this city being open was specifically harming Aaron. Ooh. Oh. Does that say Ohio? But that's not. No, neo. Ohuneo. Ohuneo. Jolun? Neo. I have no idea. I'm trying to read it. No, Chi. That's Chi, right? The first character, Chi. So for anyone who doesn't know, you read Korean. It has multiple pieces. So the one that looks like a line with arms, it looks kind of like a person. That's one part. Then the line with the one part over, that's another part. And then the O, and then like the O with a hat, that's another part. And then So each character has like 3 parts, and each part has a different pronunciation. It looked the same, but it only appears when talking to Sephra. Yes. Wait, Sephra, slow down. Thank you so much. What was that? I heard a sound effect. Oh, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Is there a reason they're dangerous? Because of the divine beast or whatever is causing them to appear? I think it lines up more with whatever causes it to appear. There's someone who's getting power from some of the cities. I don't really know exactly. I think we're gonna learn more about that in this generation. But there's someone using the power from these cities to create the divine beasts and hide them. Definitely lowercase LOL. So we're gonna learn about that villain in this season, or in this generation. Wait, Sephra, slow down. Negotiating is part of the job, right? We have to make both sides happy, us and them. Can we try to take a step back? I get that you're angry at me, and that's fair, but that shouldn't impact the decision we're making now. The gas on base has 8 bottles of soju. I bought all 8. That's crazy. You're right. We're here because we're trying to protect Aaron, so this decision is bigger than us. 그래. Ha! Don't you ever get tired of playing righteous? That's crazy. Sephra, send him home. Send him home. He does not need to be here. Oh, let's lend a hand. Oh, who cares if we get paid? Sephra will take care of it. You're just trying to make yourself feel good. You never even stop to think about the people around you. He kind of has a point there. He does have a point there. Because we have been pushing Sephra. Out of everybody, the one who's doing the most work all of the time is Sephra. And now, when you want me to shut up and go along with it like I always do, you start acting like it's all about Aaron. But you just want to find out more about your mom, don't you? He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But in this case, I think it actually is beneficial to learn more about her mom. Well, it's not beneficial to learn more about her mom. It's just that the path we're on automatically leads to learning more about her mom. You know what I mean? Sephra, that's too far. He barely said anything. Like, if that's too far, like... Let him speak. Let him speak his piece. Send Aine away, because obviously them being together is not good right now. When this is done, I don't want to regret anything. You can think whatever you like about me. I'm going to keep on doing what I believe is the right thing. For Eren, yeah. And for myself too. Just this once. Well, don't say just this once. Because you know you're not going to be completely you're not going to be like super altruistic after this moment, right? It's okay to want to do something for yourself. So yeah, do what's best for Eren and for yourself too. I don't know why we're making that controversial. They're just fighting. Like, we don't need to fight about this. Because the route that we should take lines up for everyone. Regrets? I've got a few dozen, and they're all because of you. Oh, that's crazy. You have no idea, do you? Everything always revolved around you. So how would you? How would you know how it feels to be used as a tool and then thrown away? I can't even be mad. Like, it's true. Delga's frown deepens as she listens to the argument. It seems like she's got something to say. And it's horrible because if anybody understands Sephra, it's gonna be Delga, right? But Sephra doesn't like Delga either. Sephra has a problem with just about everybody here right now. Brother, back in your trauma dumping, literally. Honestly, this is not the time or the place. While he does have very good, valid concerns, and if he really feels that he has a lot of regrets because of Aine, then maybe they should part ways. You know, like, it's okay to part ways amicably. You don't have to travel with everybody. It's okay to grow apart sometimes. And sometimes having a break from someone can be a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be around them all the time. If they're not good for you, do what's best for yourself and separate. You can always still be friends with them at a more appropriate distance. And it's true that we have been pushing Sephra a lot. And even, like, with the whole paperwork thing, he said specifically he doesn't want to do paperwork. Yet, who was there doing paperwork? Sephra! So we have been pushing a lot on him. And he's always the one to go on these scavenger missions, the one who risks his life the most. And the one who's always looking out for somebody. Like, in Murias, when Declan was having his moment, who was there? Sephra was. So I can understand why there's something, why he feels the way he does. He does have a reason to be upset. I just don't think that this breakdown is right in this moment. If anything, we just need to send him home. Send him to for a break. We all need those sometimes. I do feel more invested in the story. The character drama is crazy. I'm not driving into that. Right. Honestly, the last season wasn't even this dramatic. And then, like, Declan, the one who had the most screen time last generation was Declan. Because his sister Aine was living in Murias. Not Aine, what am I saying? What's her name? Dairin. Dairin was living in Murias. Now, we learned all about it. It's not really Dairin. It was somebody who had the look of his sister. But it was complicated, okay? We're not gonna get into it. But again, Sephra was the one, like, really making sure that we were okay. So I can understand why he feels, like, left out and, like, I take care of everyone, but nobody takes care of me. I haven't done this generation, so I have no clue what's going on. Just here to vibe. Well, I appreciate you. Kala, welcome in. Or should I call you One? You are the one. I'm trying to talk to Delga, but I keep walking off. I've never had any real interest in being a mercenary. Kala? Nice. I'm just shooting Delga with my water gun. I'm only here because of Finda's fate. I have always... Well, never mind. There is no use in explaining things to those who are determined not to listen. That's... She's got a point too. This whole argument is unnecessary. We should save our breath and remember why it is we are all here. Apparently, Twitch named her ambassador after getting banned. Yeah. Honestly, it's a weird decision. I don't know why Twitch did that. To be fair, I don't even think she should have a platform at all. Because if you're gonna break the law on camera, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Well, I'm gonna go eat. I learned too much information for one night. LOL, Zaki. Well, have a good night. Have a good dream. And I'll see you next time. Delga leaves without another word, face still and cold. Cookie time! Ooh, did I get a cookie? Jinja. Saffra's angry. Here's the cookie. Thank you. It was very yummy. Good night. This thing. Is he carrying around something or what's happening? This is a what? Tempestuous wind. Conflict, documentation, an instability in social balance caused by collision of differing opinions and interests. Update, adding first known observation of this concept to the record. It's a seed of doubt. If it actually was, that would make sense. Do you remember him having that idol in the earlier generations? I don't remember. Well, I'm taking a break. Bye. Dumbarton when he was looking for you. All the way back then? Are you kidding? Like all the way back here? In like G26? Is that what you're saying? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even realize. I think I might have mentioned it before and then completely forgot about it. Saffra, hang on a sec. Where are you going? Let him go. Let him. You heard him. He needs a break. Going after him won't help. Declan, thank you. Thank you. He needed to go way earlier. So tell me, what did I do wrong? Nothing. You don't have to make this about you. Saffra just had a break. It's not about you. I bet his outfit has an idol and put magic powder on him when they didn't want him to move. Probably. Are we really one of those cores where no one can trust that their friends will have their back? Well, I think emotions are just high. Because even the best of friends can have fights. You know what I mean? Faster, boats! See, now that's how you do foreshadowing. Yeah, yeah. Is that what I've built? Have my choices led to this? I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think back on how their relationship has been with Sephra and Aine. Because I do really think that Sephra had a lot of good points. Because he has been the one we've been pushing around. You gotta go now, have a good one? Well, have a good one, Brony. Have a good one. Still, it doesn't save the villain yet. Yeah, like, what we did with Lennon, I don't feel like was right, to be honest. Declan does his best to comfort Aine, who is clearly trying to hold back her tears. Sephra says the quiet part out loud, and honestly, he should have. Because Sephra has been holding on to it for so long. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but when you bottle up your emotions all the time, it is going to come out in an explosive way. It really will. That is in-game and real life. So that's why you should always try to get it out somehow. Even if you fail, then you at least failed knowing that you tried to do something. And then it doesn't turn into a regret, you know? Come on, Aine. You know as well as any of us that running a mercenary corps has its ups and downs, comes with the territory. Every assignment, every mission, you've been giving it your all. No one who's seen you in action could say otherwise. But I'm trying to think of what I would do, because honestly, if this was me, I wouldn't be with Aine right now. because it's I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, she didn't really do anything. You're right. She wasn't wrong to want to learn more about her mom and want to help the citizens of Gordias. She's not wrong for that. And Sephra had very good points, and evidently he has been bottling stuff up. So we just need to hear Sephra out and then come out with some sort of mutual agreement, right? So what I would do is send Aine and Declan to do stuff here in Gordias, and then I would go check on Sephra, because I'm like the only one who hasn't slighted him, or has slighted him the least. Also, most there on a boat. He was clearly alienated in his past groups. Right, for sure. We even saw part of his backstory last time we streamed this. Right now, it's like, think of the storm that's blowing in. The weather turns bad and we're right here, caught in the middle of it. But the thing about storms is, no matter how wild the wind and the rain get, they always pass eventually. You saw that firsthand working with other mercenary bands, didn't you? You're the leader of the Windfall Mercenary Corps. If you fall, we fall right along with you. Sephra has been getting snippy with us as of late. Not us as the main character, like, not the Malaysian. They haven't been really mad at the Malaysian, but Sephra has been popping off at Declan, Aine, and Delga. So I agree with that, yeah. There is an important mission riding on us. One that could even decide the future of Erin itself. So think about it. What's the most important thing for us right now? Our top priority. Aine speaks, seeming almost as though she's forcing herself to answer. The most important thing is Finda's fate. There you go. That's what we're here to stop. I agree. The reason you brought Delga here, the reason why she and Sephra and I all came this way is all for that. Declan. Sephra needs some time to gather in his thoughts. Thank you, Declan. Therapy from last generation has proved well for you, because you're actually saying some good stuff right now. While we're waiting for him, let's think of what we have to do. Aine glances towards you with a pained expression. I will not let you fight alone. Now is our time to move forward. The Windfall mercenaries can rise to the challenge. I'm not gonna say this is way too positive. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, we don't need happy-go-lucky. We just need to, like, get through. So it's either one of these two. I want to say I will not let you fight alone. You wonder whether your words have given her any comfort. Slowly, you see her nod. As Declan's eyes her with a look of worry on his face, he begins to lay out her thoughts in a voice far steadier than before. Right. We'll take things one step at a time. Sephra needs a place he feels like he can always come back to, and I'd like to keep being that place. So let's keep moving and see this through to the very end. Declan gives Aine a pat on the shoulder. It seems like Aine has calmed down. It may be good to hear the perspective of Delga, who walked away from the group but hasn't left Gordias. Plus, as the MC, you're an enigma. Sephra is always watching your back, even when you don't see it. Right. And we saw that. We saw that in G27 when Sephra was the one who caught Declan talking to Lennon. So Declan and Lennon walked away for a portion of it. And so Lennon was like, oh, I can make your sister Dairine human again, but you have to give me the Malaysian. So basically, Lennon was proposing Declan betray me, and then, you know, like, he was trying to strike a deal with Declan. And then Sephra watched it quietly, waited a long time, and then told us about it. Like, when he was sure that we were safe. Like, he made sure to, like, watch out for us. So I know Sephra is a good character, and he's very loyal, And he's all for the team. That's why I'm not even mad at him right now. If this had been someone else who was always bad, always... I'm trying to think. Like, if it was somebody else. Like, if this was Rory, for example. I love Rory. However, if he had all of these breakdowns, it would not be the same as Sephra. Because Sephra, one, has very good valid reasons for being upset right now. And then two, even now, he's still working for the same thing that we are. It's just he's mad at Aine, you know? And he's tired of being pushed to the side, which I can understand. He literally said he didn't want to do paperwork, and yet here we are doing paperwork. Talk to Delga and Gorias. Okay, I didn't even realize. I feel like I went over here. Wow, you're over here? I thought you were over there. I didn't even realize that we went all the way over here. Okay. The first, okay. Not the ads. Regret and trauma plus. Minus regret and trauma plus 1 intellect minus 1 himbo lol. Delga fiddles a bit with the stone in her pendant. He does not need to worry. Once Finda's fate is resolved, I will leave. None of you ever need to see me again. Delga, this is not about you either. This is literally not about you either. Aine and Delga are doing the same thing. They're like, what did I do wrong? It is not about you. I promise. I promise. Delga has a little bit more reason to be like, what did I do wrong? Because, yeah, it was clear that Sephra did not want her in the group. But even this breakdown that we just had was not Delga's fault. It really wasn't. Delga? I have always made that clear. It is not as if I will be needed. Wait, no, don't say that. Aine stares at Delga, confusion and hurt in her eyes. Delga's cool expression slips away into something more complicated, but she can't seem to find anything to say. Like, it's really, like, I understand why they feel, like, flustered, especially Delga. And, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, Aine, too. Let me be nicer to Aine, because Sephra literally just did say, I have a dozen regrets, and they're all because of you. So, yeah, he was very mad at Aine. So I can understand, like, I can understand why Aine and Delga are feeling this way. However, it is really not, it was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. He was already feeling it. The ads are over, thank goodness, right? It doesn't look like this tension will be fixed anytime soon. For now, it might be better to change the subject. We should head back to Kiria. Remember why we're here. Right. Let's talk to Kiria. I'm fascinated by how in-depth you understand this lore. Well, I'm glad, Kala. I love the lore, so I try to learn as much as possible. And I do love the characters. I feel like a lot of them are really good. Even the ones that I dislike are still pretty good. There are a few exceptions. Like Vane. I really dislike Vane. I think he's probably the worst character. And like, if Vane had that kind of mental breakdown, I would have got rid of him immediately. But since it was Sephra, I'm more inclined to forgive him a lot. The books have a lot of hidden details in it. The book's in-game, or is there like a lore book somewhere? I like one redhead, he seems friendly. This guy, Declan? Yeah, he's a good guy. I think he's very heated, impulsive, but he's very good. Like, he's a good guy. But he is very, like, especially in G27. In G28, what we're doing right now, he's a lot more level-headed. I think probably a little bit in part because of G27. But in G27, he really just could not. He could not. I mean, Vane is Balor. He's compelled him to do what he was doing. Still, I don't care. Yeah, sorry, my D is double tapping randomly. That's rough. Honestly, I think he was just looking for an even fight. And it really bothered me. Because I don't mind if you're our friend and then, like, betray us. That's okay. That can be an interesting plot device, right? Like, you're a bad guy. Then you befriend the heroes. and then backstab them. That's fine. But then my problem with it was that he was a villain, became our friend to gain our trust, then backstabbed us, and then tried to be our friend after that. What are you doing? And then even when it comes to like the villains, even Seth, the elf guy, even Seth was really mad at some of Vane's decisions about like directly helping the Malaysian, because he was literally teaching us how to go through Sphefiata, when in reality he shouldn't have been doing that. So he was always like a bad guy, but he was helping the heroes, then befriended the heroes to backstab them, then to be like, wait, what we had wasn't fake, it was. It was fake. You literally waited to hear about Piran's family to kidnap his family that he just told you about. Brother. Like, you can't play both sides. You have to pick a side, or at least be like outside in a way that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, Rory made sense. I think he was goofy, but he made sense, you know? I don't think he was trying to be friendly. He was using them to push the plan forward so he can fight with you with no restraints left. I just don't like that personality. I think it was really weird. I don't really care what his ultimate objective was. I don't like how he was back and forth about it. Like, pick one side. If you're gonna... Okay, so helping the Malaysian learn the techniques to be stronger, okay, sure, fine. I can let that slide. But then being our friend, the backstabbing, I'm okay with that. Because he was a villain. We always knew that, right? The problem was that he was like, what we had wasn't fake, it was. Like, you can't just... You know what I mean? Zero loyalty, exactly. Because even when he was with the bad guys, he was doing decisions that bothered the bad guys. And when he was with us, he literally heard Piran's story about like, oh, I miss my sister Sheena with white hair and red eyes. And then Vane hears that and is like, oh, silver hair, red eyes. She's literally the one we need to kidnap. And then kidnaps his sister immediately after talking about her. What's wrong with you? And then when he was like, why would you hurt a little girl? Literally, I have this dialogue screenshotted. Because right after that, he's like, why would you hurt a little girl? And he's like, what we had was real. What do you mean? What do you mean, sir? Yeah, I don't like the flip-flopping. And then if you're gonna be bad and then backstab, you can't pretend that you didn't backstab them. Bro just wanted to fight and had zero loyalty and morals. Yeah. Neutral evil? I guess so. I guess so. Right. Let's talk to Kiria. Those kids the hours, literally. Now, if you like Vane, don't be like, don't take it too seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like him, but you can like him. I don't mind. Jump scare Korean. LOL. Yeah. And that's why we're here, after all. Okay, let's get back to it. Of course, this opportunity might not come again. After coming so far, I will not get distracted now. I will not give up. All my efforts are to stop Finda's fate. No matter who hates me or how much, that is the only thing that matters. Delga. Aine tries to meet her eyes, but Delga turns away, walking briskly back to Kiria and Foinse. Kiria is waiting for you. Go talk to him again. You know what's interesting? We could, and Aine needs to think about it, if Delga and Sephra cannot get along, and Sephra is having a bad moment, it could be time to put him on, like, leave. You know what I mean? Like, on an administrative leave. Calm down, lady. It's not that serious yet. LOL. Literally. Like, not fire him, but, like, let him go for a bit. You know what I mean? Because he's already having, like, a bad moment, right? His side was with Heinrich, right. His entire goal was to allow you to meet her because she wanted to test the MC. She was then released and they had that because of Heinrich knew then you continue to gain power and to clock Finda's fate would start moving. His role was the MC's opposite, because as the bright light, they're darker, the shadow they cast. Yeah, I hear you. I don't misunderstand his character, Fal. I just don't like him. Like, I understand, and I understand that his loyalty was with Himeric, but even then, I like Himeric more than I like him, because Himeric, I understand what her, like, personality is. You know, she wants good for humanity, and she genuinely believes that through adversity, humans can become stronger. And I like that about Himeric. I'm okay with that. I just don't like Vayne. I don't like how he flip-flop sides. Like, I just don't like that. And I know that he's on Hymeric's side, but Piran was also on Hymeric's side. You know what I mean? So, I understand. And I just don't like him. He's my least favorite character. Personally. Out of every other character. I can't think of one that I like. Maybe Milia? But even then, Milia was just childish. She wasn't, like, evil or, like, flopping sides. One thing that I value a lot is loyalty. So when you, like, don't have loyalty, it even bothered me that Vayne's decisions bothered his allies. He was making things harder for his own allies. Which I really dislike. And hello, servant. How are you doing? But if you like Vayne, that's 100% acceptable. I just don't. Observation. And my main issue is the flip-flopping sides. And then, like, hurting people, helping people, hurting people, helping people. I don't like that. And then on top of all that, he's like, what we had is real. No, it wasn't. So that's what I don't like about him. Observation, an interesting sight. The visitors are not simply a collection of individuals sharing a goal. A group structured around differences in emotion and in priorities, which can sometimes result in extreme or unusual decisions. This structure— ooh! I dropped my phone and then caught it. This structure, built to accommodate variance rather than to decrease it, is something I have not seen before. Kiria tilts his head, examining each of you in turn. Right? Thanks, Dime. Oh hey, you're right. Adelia was nothing like this. I mean, she was alone for one. But she never seemed to get upset at all. Always saying she was fine. It was okay. You guys are different. You fight, then you figure it out and laugh again. It seems kind of fun. You've been watching us, huh? That's a bit embarrassing. Well, I mean, you were right, like, over there. You were within eyesight. I guess my mother was really strong, wasn't she? As for me, I'm supposed to be in charge here, but I couldn't control my feelings and I definitely couldn't stop the fight. Why did you mention that, Aine? Like, again, time and place. You don't need to talk about your struggles and stuff with with people that have nothing to do with it, right? Like, of course, be honest, but, like, you don't need to be that, like, that open. But it's okay. I'm okay. I remember what it is we're supposed to be protecting. So let me say this officially. On behalf of the Windfall Mercenary Corps, Kiria, Foinse, I'd like for us to be allies going forward. Huh? What's with all the fancy words? You're nice, so we can just be friends. Like it was with Adelia. Verified. Visitors have shown willingness to cooperate and can be trusted. I will open the gate so that you may cross the boundary between districts. Where possible, I will support your mission. Kiria nods to the now open boundary. Really? Just like that, we can get through? That's a huge help. The golem is too cute with that robot talk. I know! Honestly, I really like Kiria's design as a whole. like, I love everything about him. His design is really cute. I like the leaves and stuff. I love the yellow. Yellow is my favorite color, so I like how it pops. I like how a lot of his joints are really tiny for no good reason. You know what I mean? Like, why is his thigh, like this thigh joint, why is it so small? Like, I love all the details. Everything is really cute. I don't know if he would function very well if he was like an actual being. Still waiting for the puppet scroll for him. That would be so cute. Is that really on the, like, is that on the table, or is that just what you want? Because if that's on the table and that's happening, I'm excited too. He would be such a cute, what do they call it? Colossus puppet? I think I'll join forces with the eminently malfunctioning robot, literally. At least I know what he's gonna do in the next moment. No idea if that's on the table. I really hope it is. That's a good idea. What are your terms? Nothing comes without a cost. But if it would be so cool, right? Hello, Bon. Welcome in. You can see, but my only condition is as stated before. When you return to Aaron, please seek a new power source to sustain. First, I have one question. Did anyone get to Gorias, I mean this place, before us? Huh? Other people? No, just you guys. You're the only ones I've seen since the big kabam. Or do you mean long ago, like Adelia? When Gorias and Aaron collided, some people from our world went missing. Oh, that's true! Oh my gosh, I forgot about them! We thought it might be similar to what happened to Adelia and my mother, that they could have been taken to Gorias somehow. Negative. You are the only outside entities who have been here. What? I thought they'd be here for sure. Same thing happened to Merlin when he first met Talvish. Merlin and Talvish. I'm trying to think. Can you explain what you mean a little bit? What do you mean exactly? So, Talvish was from Divine Knights. That's him. So, Talvish also was the elder. So, to be quick about it, the Divine Knights were founded by, well, the Divine Knights are a group of people who believe in Anton Semeni. So, Anton Semeni, so they're like a secret, the Divine Knights are like a secret organization serving Anton Semeni to keep the world safe from the side. Like, they're secret. And Talvish was one of the Divine Knights. When we met Altam and Avalyn, we were learning more about the Divine Knights, and then they needed our help. One thing we found was in Tir Conel, there was actually River Adelia. In the river, there was a pendant that we got to see memories from the Elder from hundreds of years ago. So the Elder, one of the original Divine Knights. And then throughout the generations, we learned that Talvish was actually that Elder. Wait, what? Right. So the Elder was Talvish. So there's something weird going on, right? So we end up finding out that Talvish, the same person, was the chosen person, and he ends up being chosen to be the ambassador of Anton Semeni. So we never actually get to see Anton Semeni. But Talvish takes on the role of his right hand guy. Do you remember the quest about rabbits? I don't remember. So Talvish is this guy. And then Merlin is from Sega. What the? Saga. I was about to be Sega. I skipped G21. Oof. Almost ended up doing this. Adelia clearly is related to the old Divine Knight because they mention her having Divine Light. Right. So this is Merlin. He's the druid. Honestly, I'm surprised that their story, the Ace Heroes, has been so well kept up with. At the time when they were first launched, I thought they would be nothing more than side characters. But Merlin is over here, and Merlin is a druid. He is the strongest druid, other than Birched maybe. Morgan. Morgan, I'm pretty sure is like Morgan like that. I don't know if there's anybody called Morgan spelled like that, but Morgan is the goddess from Advent of the Goddess who was turned to stone and all of that. And then her whole ideal is to be, she loves Tudan. So the natural people of Erin who live in Erin, the people who live there and were born there is who she loves, the Tudan, which is different than the Malaysians, because Malaysians are basically player characters who come from the stars, basically. Morgan from G3 is Morgan the god. Exactly. Is Morgan going to be the villain like Morgan Le Fay? No, Morgan, so we have Morgan already. Just like Fowl said. So Morgan is the goddess who turned to stone. And then her whole thing, that's not you. Her whole thing is protecting the Tudan. And then her whole thing was in contrast with Sokol, who loved formers. So Morgan loved the Tudan, Sokol loved the formers, and they were at odds. And then Morgan only liked the Malaysian as long as they helped the Tudan. No, this is referring to King Arthur and the knights. But we already have a Morgan. So why would they add a second Morgan if there's already a Morgan, right? Like, I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. Wait, it's different? Morgan is the villain from G3? What? We already have two Morgans? Is Sokol really a problem? I really like Sokol. Well, there's two mythological figures called Morgan. There's too many Morgans. Now I'm confused. So can someone, like, fact check me? Like, this Morgan, the Advent of the Goddess. I'm trying to find the pronunciation for it. Or, like, the spelling of it. Morgan. Can someone say, that's how you spell Morgan, right? Morrighan. That's another way that's the more complicated way of spelling Morgan, right? Morgan? Dark Knight former Lu. Oh, is that his name? I completely forgot, Fowl. We even have Merlin. Well, yeah, we have Merlin. Where is he? We have Merlin, and then we have a Morgan. But I guess we have a Morgant, too. This guy. The whole thing with Rory was crazy. But I don't think we're going to get another Morgan. I think it could happen. And the Divine Knights are weird Knights of the Round Table. Yeah. They are. I thought they'd be here for sure. So we were wrong? Aina and Declan's faces fall abruptly. Delga sighs. Are you giving up then? Delga straightens up abruptly as if snapped from a daze. Yeah, Kala. Like, I've talked about it before, but definitely Altum is Arthur. Definitely. And then the reason Altum just sounds that is because of the Celtic, Korean, than English. And the villain does seem to be female, and I think Morgan can do shape-shifting things. I don't... Dime, if... I will be mad at this generation. Like, I will completely do a 180, because they could never get me to hate Morgan. I'm sorry. She's my girl. I love her. She's like my favorite goddess. If they make her the villain, I'm gonna be angry. They already tried. They tried to get me to not like her. But I don't really care. We still haven't settled the score with Sokol. Oh, said as... yeah, I don't know if I'm going to say keyhole. Maybe. Keyhole. I guess. But Arthurian legend and the legends of Mabinogi... Yeah. are from completely separate periods of history. Well, the problem with shoehorning Arthur into this... Well, to be fair, they already have a lot of, like, fantastical characters. Like, it's not exactly one-to-one. You're thinking of the wrong Morgan. What mythology do you like most? Me, personally, I like Norse mythology. So, like, Loki, Thor, all of that. But I don't like Marvel. I think Marvel, the way they handled it, I dislike it. I think there are more nice tellings. Is the Morgan Le Fay was canonical Merlin's villain? No. In Mabi, no. Because in Mabi, Morgan is the goddess who is turned to stone. And then Merlin is an entirely different character who has literally no relevance from entirely different storylines. I'll be honest, I don't know that much about the Arthurian tales. Arthurian? I don't know that much. I've literally watched Merlin, like the Netflix show Merlin, Sword in the Stone, the Disney interpretation of it, and then, like, I've read, like, some of the Arthurian tales, like 2 of them. And then I've listened to some music, like Heather Dale, I think, writes a song called Mordred's Lullaby. It's like, loyalty, loyalty only to me. Guileless son, I'll shape your belief, and you'll always know that your father's a thief, and you won't understand the cause of your grief. Clearly, the game's final boss will be Fergus, LOL, right? And yeah, they're loosely adapting parts of it. Morgan becomes the antagonist of some kind. They keep trying to make Morgan the villain. Just kidding. They tried it one time. It didn't work. I studied it. It's a mess. Celtic myths are all over the place. My entirety of Celtic knowledge comes from Mabi, and then what I've done as Google searches outside of Mabi. And they got reinvented and reinterpreted by Christian scribes and monks. Yeah, like Saint Piran. Like, it's so funny. Because I think about this sometimes. Because I love Piran from Apocalypse, right? And Piran is based on a saint called Saint Piran. And it's so funny. Because could you imagine you die, end up in, like, heaven or something? And then somebody loves a yassified version of you. You know what I mean? Let's just put this in our pocket until later so I can say I called it. I hope you didn't call it. Good catch. Same, the Norse mythology is interesting. The days are named after the gods, like Thursday, but they're badly translated in English, right? It's interesting because I was thinking about this the other day. I don't really know why, but in Spanish, the days are not based on Norse mythology. But yeah, it is in English. In Spanish, it's based on the planets. So like Monday is the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, and then Friday is Venus. Saturday is not a day of the week. It's like Sabbath. And then Sunday is based on the sun. Watch the final big bad for this arc actually be Limerick. That would be crazy, but I'm actually here for it. Fal, if that's it, I'm all for it. I mean, after all, Atane hasn't been getting visions like she used to, right? And the first 3 gens were written by the original cast and director, which is why Morgan has a coherent alignment and lore. Then Shakespeare gens had a different writer. I see. That makes sense. Do you know, like 1, 2, and 3, like these, up to Alchemist, how long has this been? Because it would make sense if they changed writers suddenly. And then, like, if it's like 10 years or something, I can understand why they would change that. Like, I don't know anybody who would work on one game for their entire life, right? Who decided to try and make Morgan a heel villain. I don't care what they say. Morgan is not a villain, but that makes sense now that you say that, That makes sense that it had a different writer, so they tried to make her evil, but it didn't work. And it didn't go well or be executed well. It's nice that they got their own names for the days. Right. They tried to make a big twist where Keyhole is our friend, Morgan is the villain, and Shakespeare is a Malaysian. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. I actually don't mind Shakespeare being the first Malaysian. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Sakol being our friend. I'm fine with that. I actually really like, because Morgan and Sakol never really were, like, the reason why they had their friendship falling out was because of Morgan. Like, she was the one who kind of ended the friendship, right? But Sakol was always kind of chill. He just always loved Morgan. I mean, not Morgan, I mean, maybe. But he always just loved the formers. Apparently, oh, okay. Oh, I think my chat is lagging behind. I mean, I could understand why she hunted Limerick. She had Mirage Missile, Final Hit, LOL. He was cheating. I take issue with him. I didn't copyright. He gets to change races and we don't. Oof. Shakespeare just cheated. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't like how disrespectful Shakespeare was. Like, at the end of Shakespeare, he was rude to Morgan, so I had beef with him already. And thank you so much for the hydrate. I appreciate it. I will hydrate right now. We can change races if we pay a combo card, or like if we pay a card for it. What? No, of course not. As worried as I am, we can't give up here. Right, yeah, I just got complacent. I had in my head that everything would be fine once we got to Gorias. But of course, that was never going to be true. We must move forward. We can't afford to stop. We cannot solve everything at once. That's true. I'm gonna say we cannot solve everything at once. We need to take it step by step. You're both right. We're not giving up. Our top priority is the same as it always has been. Stopping Finda's fate. Let's return to the matter at hand. So what do you say? Are you back in the band? Then? Right. Yeah, so a new power source? Correct. A new source of power is needed to return lights to this place. To Gorias, as the visitors call it. I'm back. What I miss? You didn't miss much. But welcome in. I just read like one line of dialogue. Basically, we didn't, basically we found out that the people who went missing in Dunbarton are not in Gorias. So we need to figure out what happened to them. But we need to find a new power source for Gorias. It's really important. Lots of things have been turned off already. Freemium gaming? What do you mean? Like, what prompted that statement? What prompted that statement? Because I don't see any freemium issue right now. Sounds of airport's worth of information being overheard. LOL. It's really important. A lot of things have turned off already. And, we might be running out of time. Understood. 알겠어요. Oh, we can't change our race unless we pay for it. Well, I mean, I think you can reincarnate if you use one of... Not reincarnate, what am I saying? You can rebirth as long as you have the cards. And you can get cards through other means. You don't have to pay for it. There are times when we get free cards. We'll find a substitute from Aaron. Then we go. It's a deal. And that time is a very interesting thing you mentioned, because I would argue that's my problem with Final Fantasy 14. You can't just pick any race you want. You have to have the game, and the game comes at a subscription, right? So you can't just be whatever race you want. And then to have the subscription is like $10 or something. Why not put those $10 to a card that you can just buy in Mabi? You know? You can, but there's no rebirthing in 14. Well, rebirthing is free. So it doesn't make sense. I think I get what you're saying. There we go. It's a deal. At last, some progress. Approved. Negotiation complete. Kiria's voice seems to echo across all of Glorias. Alright, so we need some sort of material to replace their power source. Phew, where do we even begin? For starters, we probably ought to have at least a basic understanding of how Gloria's existing power sources worked. So, yes, as of right now, we don't have Morgan Le Fay, but we do have a Morgan. I don't understand why they would add a Morgan if we already have a Morgan and a Morgant. Because the point of having more than one character on an account, aside from extra VIP boxes, have become mute due to limits on bonus and rank caps being per account and not per character. I don't know what you're saying there, Fel. I mean, you can get like 2 free Fantias. I don't know what that is. Is that like a Final Fantasy 14 thing? They haven't, which is why I'm guessing she might be the villain, right? I would prefer a Morgan Le Fay or some like Limerick being the villain. Like either one of those is completely fine by me. Let's just say Celts weren't terribly LOL. For starters, we probably ought to have at least a basic understanding of how Gloria's existing power sources worked. The problem with that is, well, we're mercenaries, not archaeologists or researchers. Our swords are mightier than our pens, you could say, LOL. So, you wouldn't happen to have any knowledge on how to reverse engineer an ancient power source, would you? If anybody does, it's me. Those are the items to remake your character. I see. And then let me read what you said about it. You can get like 2 free. So there are multiple tickets. You can also get 2 free character cards immediately. Every new character can. All you have to do is make an alliance with the giants or the elves. I have no clue where the story is going, but based on just the terms and names, just going on the terms that I named out, you could use Egg. You used to be able to run Glen Burna 3 times and Crombas 10 on each character on the same account, but not those limits are account limited. Oh, that's raw. They're account limited. I have to go imagine, and they're going further into all this than more recent. Right, because this game is from 2009, so I have a feeling that they're going to stick mainly to the old until we run out of old stuff. But that's just my theory. I have to imagine, okay. And if you have to sub, you can literally have 8 characters on every world/server. Every new account can so long as you have a human. So they have made character cards pointless. No, you still get character. Well, you can't just multiple get as many help the giant or elf cards. You can't just get multiple. You like, unless there's like an event or something where they give you one. But you do get 2 for free when you make an alliance. When you start the game, if you have a fresh account, what you can do is use your human character and then form an alliance with either the elves or the giants. Then they give you a character card for free. Then you break that alliance off, and then you can go to the other one and then make an alliance with them, and then you get the second character card. You only get 2 for free if you have a human. That's what I said? I'm not sure. We shall see. I'm hoping I called the bad guy before it was even revealed. But that's just a theory. A Rebecca theory. LOL. It's still wacky because, like, why is she trying to blow up the world? Yeah, like, that's true. Like, what's going on there? I have no idea about character cards, honestly. I'm the humbly deficient of only having 1 character. I have 3. Or maybe 4. I have 4, actually. Sally, Cindy, Rebecca, and Rebecca is cute. Rebecca is cute is just one that I made because I needed a new bank tab. A dime theory. I, like every other generation, there is someone trying to blow up the world, lol. So I kind of stopped reading too deep into it, lol. I just want you to have, like, a good reason. Like, Heimerick, I felt like had a good reason. I just want the character to have a decent motivation, and then I don't really mind as much. My Mabi son has 34 characters. That's crazy. He uses bank like pet inventory. That's funny. But I can't really work on my elf 1 week. I'm working on my human. That's fair. I don't even mess with my other characters. I just have them for bank. Literally just for bank. It's terrifying. So you wouldn't have... Okay. I think you're asking too much, Aine. Even from someone with multiple lifetimes of experience. LOL, multiple lifetimes. No, I actually know how to do that. Sorry. It's just we've seen her display some incredible abilities before that no one had any idea about until that exact moment it became relevant to the problem at hand. I figured I had to ask just to be sure. I remember why I like this guy. This one, Declan. But you do get a chance for each gen on all character cards on that account. Enchants for each... Okay, that's nice. My only issue is if rebirthing is the mechanic, it shouldn't be limited by your race. As in switching races? I actually really like the rebirthing mechanic. One of my best friends, IRL, has him tattooed on him. Declan? Has who tattooed on him? They have Declan tattooed on him. You used to have to buy a character card and spend it to rebirth. Exactly, Fal. Noodle hair angelic guy. Noodle hair angelic guy? Noodle hair angelic guy? What game? From Alban Knights, Llewellyn? Noodle hair angelic Talvish? Llewellyn. I thought Llewellyn at first, but I think you might be thinking Talvish. Oh, Talvish. Noodle hair is crazy. Believe it or not, I stopped buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards so I could buy Rebirth. LOL, that's so funny. If there's one thing I do know, it's that we're lacking for expertise here. We gotta find someone who can help us. Really? I thought I could. The scholars dispatched to Dunbarton would seem the most likely people in the area to possess such knowledge. It's time for you to head out. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Fal. And now I got this guy tattooed. If I was to get somebody tattooed on, to be fair, I would not get any of these guys tattooed on me. I would not get any type of face tattooed on me. I would rather like a general symbol, like the knot, the I think it's called a Dada knot, which is the logo for Mabi. I would prefer that if I had to get something. Bye, Fal. Or some other thing, like an object, not a person. Because even like Piran, I would never want Piran on my arm or something. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels weird. For me personally. If you want to see, I can send you on Discord. Yeah, 100%. They still haven't made an Erusin plushie. They need to make one! I'd buy it. I'd buy it. They got a handmade plushie of Declan made. Oh, wow. Your friend must be very, like, dedicated. I just don't like being nickeled and dimed and force-fed obnoxious grinds. You see, I think I was raised on the I think I was like, what is the word? Like, I was raised on these streets. So I don't have an issue. And I'm a very, like, I don't want to, like, switch around and do stuff. So I think maybe our values are a little bit different when it comes to games. Like, I only want to play my character. And I have a very specific idea of who my character should be. I was too, and I hate it now. LOL. They may not possess the courage to come themselves, but surely that does not reflect on their engineering prowess. Oh right, I forgot about them. I did too. I don't even know enough to speak to their skills, but I can at least attest they've got some passion to spare when it comes to their research. Now we're talking. Let's go ask for their help then. Would a creature be in the same category as a person to tattoos? I think a creature could be okay. Like, I could see myself, like, tattooing a extremely fantasy character. Like Kirby. Like, that's a very, a extremely fantasy character. It's not humanoid at all. And I don't think Kirby requires... Because that's another thing about tattoos. I'm worried about how it will age as well. So, I think fine details in faces and outfits and stuff, I feel like that would fade. Or, like, distort over time. Which was one reason. But I feel like Kirby would be a very, like, simple kind of character to do. Or, like, a cat. Like, I could see that being nice. Like, just, like, a silhouette of a cat or something. Like, that's fine. So, I could do something like that. I don't have tattoos, and I don't plan to get one. I never will. I'm too scared of it as a process, and I'm very... Like I said, I'm worried about how it will fade out, right? So I know that with age, it will just get worse and worse. If anything, I'm doing temporary tattoos. So I wouldn't get a tattoo, but if I did get a tattoo, it would be something that would fade well. Yeah, I'm even over making tons of alts. I don't even do alts just to have all the classes in the game. I don't do that. I don't do that for any game. I'm very, like, one, and for me, I care a lot about the story and stuff, so I have my own, like, idea of who my character is, and then, like, their lore and their thing. Nobody can replace them, you know what I mean? Like, these are all her friends, you know what I mean? And if I already know the story, I'm not very inspired to play it again. I used to for a ton of MMOs I played. I think the only game that I made multiple characters in was Ragnarok Online. And that's because they were like, every server would be destroyed. You know what I mean? Like within like a year or two, the server would be gone. So you had to make new characters. Narby from Heaven Burns Red is a simple round blob with two tiny legs, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth with very Kirby-like. I see. Reminds me of Mokana from Tsubasa. Well, technically Exoxalic, but... Though it just occurred to me, unless we go breathing chunks of the ruins and carting them out of the gate, there isn't really a good way to have the scholars analyze them up close. That's a good point. That's a good point, now that I'm thinking about it. If I got a tattoo, I would never tattoo Alan on me, but I would tattoo Tim Cumpy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Tim Cumpy would age well. And also yellow. Yellow, yellow, uh-oh, yellow, yellow, uh-oh. But yeah, having to mash through old story beats and quests for the 10th time bites. Yeah, I would never do that. I know some people that have done that, though. Like, I literally know, like, Scully has, like, 6 characters, and they keep doing the events. Every time I hear from them, they're doing the event again. You know what I mean? Like, it's so funny to me. Like, how do you do it? And they're like, okay, I'm doing G28 for the 5th time. What do you mean? Why? Why did you do that? Caution, destruction or vandalism of Gordias is permitted under all circumstances. We don't talk about Splatoon addicts. I've never actually played Splatoon. Do you make characters in Splatoon? I don't actually get how that works. I've only ever seen Snuggy play it. And Snuggy plays like the... like PvP, I guess. Well, so much for our top idea. I don't think our second option, dragging the scholars to Gordias, would go over very well either. We need to think outside the box. Out of the box. Out of the box. But the box is kind of airtight on this one. What else are we supposed to do? Sit here and make a detailed sketches of everything we want to show them? Well, I do have very good art skills. Chomusuke from Konosuba looks cute. I don't like Konosuba though. So I just don't like the idea of Konosuba. I think all of the characters are very unlikable. Just from like the clips I've seen like they're not cool. Especially like the main characters that we see the most. So I just don't like them as a concept, so I wouldn't get anything from them tattooed. I think they make tons of alts to play multiple times during Splatfest. That's the point. That you don't like them? Why would I watch a show with a character I don't like? You know what I mean? Like, that's my personal view on it. I don't like I don't like to watch shows where I don't like the characters. I like to love the character. I like to get invested. Personally. This is why I remember seeing a post on Twitter that was like, there's always 4 kinds of characters. The I love them, so I must protect them. The I love them, I want them to protect me. The I love them, and they're so precious. The I love them, and I want them to be destroyed. And I was like, what? Why would you want your favorite character to be destroyed and traumatized and harmed? I don't want that. So it kind of made me like, I was like, wow, there are people who put their like characters through trauma. And that's their like favorite character. And I'll be like, what? I don't get it, but if, you know, if that's how they enjoy the media, then go for it. Drawing? I've tried my hand at all sorts of work as mercenary, but let's just say I doubt anyone would pay me to draw their portrait. LOL. Suggestion. I'll provide a tool to aid your continued investigation. They're funny! And it's funny watching them get their comeuppance. Okay, so yeah, but if my favorite character... Like, if a character needs to get their comeuppance, they're not my favorite character. You know what I mean? Like, if they're a horrible person, then they probably... Well, it depends. It depends. Because I do think, usually, a character can have, like, a redemption. Like, for example, Ken. You know what I mean? Like, he did horrible stuff as the Digimon Emperor. But he had a lack of information. You know, he didn't realize that the digital world were real people and it wasn't just like a video game. So I can understand why. But then he did horrible things to the Digimon because of that. He didn't understand them. So he did horrible things. And then he came back from it. Which is why I like him. So he needed to get his comeuppance in a way. So TK really did need to hit him, punch him. So it made sense. So I get that, but after they're good-hearted and kind, I don't want them to go through it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, Alan, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. His story is so sad. I also get sent the dolls that got made, if you were curious. Ooh, yeah. I am curious. Megumin is the only one I like. Girl just wants to explode stuff in peace, lol. Have you watched more than one episode? What dolls? Of Konosuba. No. I was just severely disappointed when what I thought would be reality did not happen. And I was like, oh, you suck. There's a lot of art of him and Declan, which I choose not to send along, lol. But I sent one, alright. You have to give it a fair shake. Enjoy, thank you. Suggestion, okay. The photostatic imager. This device allows the user to capture precise images of objects, individuals, and scenes. However, please note that the image capturing functionality is reliant on the power source here in this place. When you leave this place, you will be unable to create new images. However, images already recorded may be viewed anywhere. Kiriya hands you a strange device that at first looks like it's been made of smooth stone. I can't believe it. You're telling me this device can paint whole pictures in an instant? Amazing. I've never seen anything like it. So this is the sort of technology the gods had. Oh, you don't have something like this in Eren? It's called a camera. Not at all. In Eren, we, usually people draw things by hand on pieces of paper. If something like this is out there, I sure haven't heard of it, and we've seen a bit more of the world than most people at this point. This will be quite useful. We need not worry about missing even the smallest detail. Kamura. I pronounced it right. This isn't even it. It gets better the further the story goes. You see, I'm tired of people saying that. Like, I'm tired of people saying that about animes in general. Because, like, I remember people saying that about, like, Sword Art Online. I remember people saying that about Pandora Hearts. I remember people saying that about, like, so many animes. Like, oh, it gets better later. Now, I'm not waiting that long. Like, 7 days to... no, what is it? 7 Deadly Sins. I'm not waiting that long. English is my third language? Nice. So it still sounds so funny to me. Fair. What's your first and second? Sword Art Online gets better seasons later. LOL. Let's capture images. Okay. Let's capture images of as many things in Gorgias as we can, then show them all to the scholars. I bet they'll be able to learn a lot from being able to see all of the things like they were standing right here. Approval granted. I'll entrust the imager to you. Kiria, you received this photo imager from Kiria. Kiria has given you a curious device known as the photostatic imager. You are now able to use the Gorgias imaging skill. Fourth language. Portuguese, Hokkien, and Hakka. Fourth language. I see. All I'll say is give a fair shot if you're inclined. I am not very inclined. I just don't like it. I feel like Megumin is probably gonna be like just from the images and stuff. But the character that I thought I would like turned out to be a really big jerk, so no. I won't lie, I was terribly disappointed by the anime. I originally gave it a shot because of the Mabi collab with... was it Mabi? No, I don't think it was Mabi, actually. I think it was Maple Story that did a Konosuba thing. Anime gotta hook the viewers immediately to keep them around in the first episode. I'm willing to give up to 2 episodes to an anime. If it doesn't get me hooked on 2 episodes, I'm not finishing it. Which reminds me, I actually watched the season finale of Miraculous, and my greatest fear, the plot hook that I thought would disappear, actually was explained and resolved. So I'm actually happy with that. The main guy, I thought he looked really cute, and then he turned out to be very not cute. The ladybug girl, no, wait, Miraculous? Yes, Miraculous has a ladybug in it. And the supporting characters are actually fun. But I have to have, my favorite has to be the main character. Or at least in the main, like, group, like the trio. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be the #1 character, which I would prefer it. Like, Alan is the main character, and that's how I prefer it. But I'll take it if they're, like, the secondary character. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. What anime has a character... Honestly, I do mainly where my favorite character would be the main character. Mainly. Kazuma? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, because I forgot his name. Darkness is the most tame, despite her disposition. You are now able to use the Gorgias imaging skill. Use the Gorgias imaging skill as you wander the city to record images of anything you think might prove relevant to your investigation. Choa! Alright, let's come back with so many images, those scholars will be spoiled for choice. Hold on! Do you even know how to use it? Here, I'll teach you. Foinse stepped forward, beaming proudly, and perhaps revealing the slightest hint of smugness. Listen to her explanation. You've gained the knowledge of the Gorgias imaging skill. Oh, it literally looks like a camera. A unique device made in Gorgias that Kiria gave you. It can be used to perfectly capture the appearance of any object, but it can only be used in Gorgias. Images made with the photostatic imager can be viewed in your image album. That sounds so cute. But, do you know what time is it? Do you know what time is it? Do you know what time is it? Do you know what time? Do you know what time? Do you know what time is it? It is time to raid. Ooh, Mabi Nerd is streaming. Ooh, Stabby is streaming. Ooh. We have options. We can do Apple, Mabi. So Apple and Stabby are doing Mabinogi. So what we're doing. But Mabi Nerd is also streaming. And they're playing... Oh my gosh, maybe not this one. Okay, so maybe we'll have to wait to raid Mabi Nerd because I don't think this game is okay. So we can do either Apple or Stabby. It's been a while since we raided to Stabby, so why don't we do Stabby? Have mercy. You're not supposed to like Aqua. She's completely... Okay. I got an itch to play watching you. I know this isn't a commerce stream, but can you give me a good starting word for Wordle? Juicy. I love juicy. I love starting with juicy. Or just whatever I'm singing. Very welcome. So we will be raiding out to Stabby, who's playing Mabi right now. It looks like they're organizing their inventory, maybe doing some gacha, maybe. So we just finished up playing some of G28. I actually really like how this stream went. I feel like a lot of it was nice and relieved a little bit of my concerns with the villain. I just don't really like the villain that much, and I just don't like them from a storytelling perspective. I don't feel like they add anything to the story, but I loved the drama with Sephra, Aine, Delga, and then how Declan was kind of the most like mature one this stream. I like that because it just makes me think that Declan kind of learned from the situation in Murias. So I really enjoy that. But thank you so much for coming, everyone. Have a good night or morning. See you guys next time. Love you guys and stay sweet. And no problem, Dime. Continue to ramble. I love to see what you guys have to say. Remember my theory. I will. I'm scared of your theory, but I'm listening. And we'll see it maybe next time or the time after that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.